Hey there friends, it's Codiak here and welcome back to Legacy Gaming and another Death's Door boss guide video. Today we're taking on the Grey Crow, and I'll be honest, I did not see this fight coming. It's a really interesting twist to the progression and the story of the game, and a nice challenge before we tackle the final boss. As always, if you have any questions about the fight or just about the game in general, let us know in the comments section below, and remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more great video game content in your feeds. Alright friends, we have come to one of the curveball bosses in the game. I'm talking about the Grey Crow. This is a really challenging boss fight. It's really artistically done, and I love that about this game. It combines art, action, all of that great stuff. Now, as you can see, I am using my bomb ability, and that's because the Grey Crow will run across the encounter space and kind of glide past you. You don't need to dodge roll if you don't want to, but you can to get away from his kind of charge. Now, his first main ability is this right here. All of these different hook shots, he will shoot him across the room and then just pull himself following those lines. So all you need to do is just pay attention to where those lines are and just stand in the voids. Anywhere there's not a hook shot, that's where you want to stand, and he will do that throughout the entire fight. Now, the second thing you'll notice about this fight is all of those black little cloud spirits coming at you. Anytime you do any sort of major damage to him, those spirits will shoot out of him and basically home in on you. Now, there's a couple ways that you can deal with them. You can basically just run around and ignore them, or you can hit them back towards the boss. It's a great way to do extra damage to the Grey Crow. The problem is that you're moving, they're homing, and he's moving. So there's a lot of moving elements here, and it's pretty hard to key in on where the boss is going to be. As you can see, I miss more times than I hit, but the key is that you don't want to get hit by those, obviously. You'll also notice that the Grey Crow will jump into the encounter area, doing some sort of like slide dive type of thing. Right there you see it. He'll slam into the ground and glide past, almost as if the white encounter area is ice. The key here is to really watch for that shadow. That's going to give you at least an indication of where the Grey Crow is, and he will string that dive ability in as often as possible. You'll see the chains, you'll see the spirits, and then all of a sudden he'll just throw in a dive. It usually happens in quick succession right after the hook shots, and then he'll just sprinkle it in for fun. So you do have to be careful of that. What I think is really important about this fight is that there are plenty of opportunities to do damage to the Grey Crow, especially at the end of his little charge. There's a leeway, a grace period where you can get in there, land a few melee hits, and not worry about having the crow attack you. There's also this really interesting ability here where the crow will shriek and all of these little birds will come out, and honestly I couldn't wrap my head around it. I believe if the birds hit you, you take damage, but you can also use your weapons to negate their effect. Like, as you can see, some of the birds are hitting me, nothing's happening, but I think if a large enough group of birds hit you, then you take some damage. Honestly, I just kept moving around, I kept hitting them with my sword, and eventually they all go away. I think it's more of a distraction tool than anything else. You have all of these little things flying around, and you're also worrying about the hook shot and the spirits and him lunging. It's just a lot of things to keep your eye on. The good news is, if you've gotten to this point, you've seen all of the abilities in the encounter. Just keep your cool, focus on one thing at a time, while also just keeping your head on a swivel, paying attention to where you're positioned in the encounter area. Because there's no real definable boundaries, you can move more than you can in some of the other boss fights in the game, so you have a lot more flexibility. As you can see, I'm using the bomb. I think the bomb is a great choice for this fight in particular, and eventually you will get him down. Now, we're going to end the video because we don't want to spoil anything, so if you have any questions, leave us a comment below and play on.